review in Kolkata, which is underway on the National Herald, and the companies are said to be involved in suspicious transactions. And what is being said that the ED will also be soon filing a prosecution complaint in the money laundering case revolving around Young India illegally taking over the assets of AJL, which is worth over 2,000 crores. So this is now looking at a chart sheet there in all probability, Siddharth, that we are looking as the ED is continuing with its investigation.
What will specifically be under scrutiny here, Amita, is of course the transaction of rupees 50 lakh allegedly that Young Indian, a company floated, in fact ended up paying up to Associated Journals Limited to acquire not just the debt that Associated Journal owed to the Indian National Congress, but also its assets, which have been priced at approximately 2,000 crores and more. Now, Rahul Gandhi as well as Sonia Gandhi, during their questioning, and this is something that ED sources have told us, have in fact ended up blaming everything on Mr. Motilal Vora, who's now deceased and therefore no more to be answering those questions. They've said that he was, of course, in the know of all the transactions that took place that are currently under the scrutiny of the Enforcement Directorate. Let's go across to Priyank Tripathi as well for more on this. Priyank, not just Herald House in the national capital, but also premises now in Kolkata being raided by the Enforcement Directorate.
Yes, Siddharth, because Dotex Merchandise, the company which initially gave loan to the AJL of 1 crore without any kind of surety has been under the scanner, because what it was being alleged that by the Enforcement Directorate that there has been money laundering which has happened, and that's why this, without any kind of surety, how is it possible that you can give a loan of 1 crore to a company which has just emerged? And what it was being said during the course of investigation, that it is very much possible that there has been a wrong money trail which has been a part of this money which was given as a part of loan to AJL without any kind of surety. So among these 12 locations, what we are also getting to know, that premises which belong to the office of Dotex Merchandise is also under the search by the Enforcement Directorate. At this location where we are standing, me and my colleague Akansha have been reporting from, has been the location which has been under the eye of all the storms, because of the wrongdoing which has happened in the past, because of the money trail which is under scrutiny by the Enforcement Directorate, following to which the Income Tax Tribunal report also gave an adverse report in favor of Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi.
Listening to more of those Congress reactions that are coming in, the standard line being saying that this is vendetta politics that seems to be happening, as they have been also raising their voice on the floor of the House and even outside the Parliament, apparently saying how central investigative agencies are allegedly being misused. Let's play out more reactions.
प्रमोद तिवारी जी, एक सवाल, नेशनल हेराल्ड मामले पर पहले राहुल गांधी से पूछताछ हुई और प्रियंका गांधी से, सोनिया गांधी से पूछताछ। अब बताया जा रहा है कि ईडी नेशनल हेराल्ड जो दफ्तर है वहां जो है वो सर्च के लिए पहुंची है, वहां सर्चिंग अभियान चल रहा है।
पूरे देश में भाजपा सरकार राजनीतिक द्वेष के अपने विरोधियों पर सरकारी एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग कर रही, इसी श्रृंखला में ये कांग्रेस कल घबराई थी, न डरी थी अंग्रेजों से, न आज के अंग्रेजों से।
एक अंतिम सवाल है आपसे, सितंबर के महीने में कांग्रेस पार्टी के
उम्र के नीचे।
Right, so that was Pramod Tiwari of the Congress. It's the ongoing Parliament session, and therefore quite a few reactions coming in with respect to the latest round of raids that have taken place. Let me go across once again to Akanksha for more on this. Akanksha, Priyank in fact pointed out towards an important development with what's happening in Kolkata with the premises of a certain company called Dotex that has now been alleged by the Enforcement Directorate for having extended more than 50 lakh rupees for the Congress, which allowed it to acquire the assets of Associated Journals Limited by also underwriting the debt of rupees 90 crore that AJL owed to the AICC.
Well, absolutely. Raids are currently underway at 12 places all across the country in connection with this case. But the most important here is this newspaper office called Herald House, which has been under the eye of the storm. This comes days after Sonia Gandhi was questioned by the Enforcement Directorate in connection with this case. Her son Rahul Gandhi was also questioned by the investigating agency in June for over 54 hours. Now, they both are under the scanner of the ED. What are the allegations and why are they under it? Basically, this newspaper was founded in 1938 and was shut down in 2008 after it went into debt. Now, it is the allegation of the ED that Gandhi's acquired the properties owned by National Herald by buying its publisher AGL through an organization called Young Indian Private Limited, in which they have 86% stakes. Now, ED had alleged money laundering in the debt settlement. In fact, a complaint was filed by Subramanian Swamy in connection with this. He had alleged that there was cheating, misappropriation of funds in the acquiring and also the debt settlement. However, Congress has time and again been saying that this is a political vendetta. Agencies are being used against them to stifle their voice, and this company was acquired only for the aim of charity. However, the BJP is saying that this was for the purpose of gaining profit and for the malicious reasons. Now, raids are going across pan-India at 12
locations. This is the very timing of the raids and the searches that are being conducted that is being questioned by the Congress leaders. There we are playing out reactions of multiple Congress leaders. But in the meantime, if I can come back to you, Priyank, on this, does it fall under the ambit of when it comes to the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, because it was a fresh case that was filed by the ED under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, that we are looking at fresh searches and raids taking place?
See, certainly the Congress party is calling it a political vendetta, but you can imagine an agency which has to unearth a scam which has happened, almost a decade back. It's a very difficult task and tedious task for any agency to find out the exact detail and prove it before the court of law. Because the ED also wants to, dig out all those information which has happened in the past, and knowing the fact that the accused in this case are so much smart that they will also play all the tricks in the legal book for their own benefit. So at this moment, what it is important for the Enforcement Directorate is to have some more substantial investigation and evidence in their hand, because soon what we are getting to know that ED is thinking about filing a prosecution complaint because of the drama which has been happening on the streets of the national capital and across the country. Whenever all these suspects who are from the Congress party are being questioned by the Enforcement Directorate, we know that the ED need to have, or any agency need to have evidence in the hand. At this time period, when the ED is trying to, carry out searches on the official premises, they are not carrying out searches on some residences and private premises of all these people who have been linked to this, AGL scam or the National Herald scam. What they are trying to find out is more evidence, for which they have come here. And soon after this information broke on Times Now, that Enforcement Directorate is carrying out searches at 12 locations across the country. The Congress party has once again come out and repeated the same lines which they have been told by the senior leadership, that this is a political vendetta. How can they call it a political vendetta when the agencies are trying to gather information? Don't you think that it is a pressure which is being built up on a central agency, on a federal agency? So whenever they step out of their office in relation to this particular national health case, they are being criticized as a party, as an agency which is working on the behest of the party. Then how will an agency function? What will they prove in the court of law? Certainly the court will ask evidence for which the Enforcement Directorate have come up. What we are trying to point out for our viewers, that at this moment, since Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi have already been questioned by the Enforcement Directorate,
thanks a lot for that, Priyank. We'll of course keep monitoring all the updates with respect to the raids and the National Herald scam, but the Enforcement Directorate is not just preoccupied with investigating the National Herald scam, it's also been investigating